Yeah, we will officially start our event this afternoon. Okay, this is our main program for today and tomorrow. Uh, we have officially started everything with prayer, Pilipinas Kumahal, and at this point, I'll give you the rationale, and we have to introduce you one by one. After that, we will have our first speaker, followed by the second speaker, the third speaker, but along the way, we will have our short break for our merinda. Okay, so hopefully, everything will be summarized by 5 o'clock kay Bishop Jesuso Cantillas of Maasin. He will be coming here now, and it will be followed by the holy sacrifice of the Mass. So after that, we will have our dinner. Then after that, we call it in Cebuano, it's soroy-soroy time. Meaning you can go anywhere you want to go, as long as you still know how to go, return back to the hotel. Okay? Then wake up tomorrow, we'll have our breakfast downstairs at 7 o'clock. Even breakfast will be until 10. Then probably 8 o'clock, recap. Then questionnaire. This will be given by our beloved former Defense Secretary, Sir Norberto Gonzales. Then after that, we will have our open discussion until we'll finish about 11 o'clock. Then short planning, short presentation. Then we'll end up with the Holy Mass, mga 11 o'clock, with His Excellency, our beloved Archbishop Argilis, before he will leave tour back to the airport at 12:30. Hindi wala ng traffic tomorrow because it's holiday. Okay, so we'll have a closing during the Holy Mass. Okay, so, rationally, many were asking, what is POSI? Okay? If you go, tinan mo sa yung if you Google search it, or even the Webster Dictionary, POSI means the gathering of leaders for one specific purpose. So, gathering of Catholic leaders for one specific purpose, para once and for all, because I think, how many years na nangyari ito? To tell you frankly, this is my 32nd year doing all these things all over the country. Previously, moving around the whole country, organizing conferences, seminars, organizing rallies, and so on and so forth. I told God, Lord, sana by the year 2030, I will reach na 4 years to go or 5 years to go. But hopefully by that time, tapos na ang laban. But anyway, so it's about time na it's about time that we will have our gathering with the theme, Faithful Catholic Leadership. Mag-update tayo, collaborate tayo, and act tayo. So, you know, each one of us, alam na natin anong sitwasyon ng bansa, sitwasyon ng simbahan. These two will go together. Kaya during our discussion this afternoon, primary lugar is really we want to be updated. Ano ba talaga mas malalim na senaryo na dapat natin malaman? But prior to our first speaker this afternoon, may I introduce each one of you one by one? Okay? So it's not you the one to say, I am, ako si ano, ako ang magsabi kung sino kayo. Okay? According to my best knowledge. Okay? So the first delegate natin is from Cagayan de Oro. Okay? Here is Dr. Therese Lumicao. A very active pro-lifer for more than 2 decades na sa Cagayan de Oro. In fact, they're the one organizing yung grupo na tinatawag na Serve Life Mindanao. Dr. Therese is a pediatric surgeon by profession. Cardiology. Then, side by side, is his beloved husband, Dr. Nestor Lumicao, cardiac surgeon. And also side by side, sila the one that moves around, at least in the entire northern Mindanao, to awaken people, lalo na during mga panahon pa ni Clavel, yung mga, what you call this, when he introduced the very controversial vaccine that I should say were able to sterilize 300,000 to 500,000 women nung kaniyang vaccine na merang kasali na maging yung babae ay hindi na hindi na mabuntis. So that was very, very important process in our time. Okay, next to Dr. Nes and Dr. Teres is award ang Hari ng Bicol. Everybody knows her, no other than Ma'am Brenda Locsin. Currently, si Ma'am Brenda is the one in charge sa Commission on Family Life for Southern Tagalog area. And sa unang Diyos, meron silang radio stations all over that area, Naga, Legazpi, including Masbate, no? Okay, so Sorsogon, yan, napakalakas ang influence ni Ma'am Brenda pag ganun ang istorya. Okay? So, side by side sa kanya, nasa labas pa, walang iba si Sir Nonoy Jose Locsin. Okay. Kung ano ang strength ni Ma'am Brenda, gano'n rin ang strength ni Sir Jose Nonoy Locsin. Okay, followed by the next is Ma'am Bonnie Cararis Manlunas. Siya po ang presidente ng Federated President of the Federation of Parents Teacher Association of the School Division Office, Antipolo, covering 69 public schools from kinder to high school. And at the same time is hosting the Radio Maria Philippines, talking about pro-life matters and partnership with Josepa. And is also a member of the Committee of Education sa LGU sa lugar ng Antipolo. Okay, next is punta naman tayo sa Negros from Kabangkalan Diocese. You know, Kabangkalan is 86 kilometers south of Bacolod. So I know Ma'am Pat Ningal, si Ma'am Pat Ningal, I know her for more than 30 years na. I think she's already 65. 65 pa, Ma'am Pat? 73. I know her for more than 3 decades in our fight. She's the point person natin sa Kabangkalan, Negros Occidental. Next, darako naman tayo sa Panay from the Archdiocese of Haro, Iloilo. Andiyan si Ma'am Ana Kahilig with his husband, Sir William Kahilig. We know each other for at least 2 decades na. And they're the one running the show also. Pag wala yung dalawang couple na yan, mahirap. Walang pangalan ang Archdiocese of Haro in the Family Life Commission. So we salute them for their energy through these years. From Haro, Iloilo, Marajao, Carajao, we'll go to Surigao. Our fighter there in Surigao Diocese, no other than Brad Gilson Bangoy. Okay, si Brad Gilson is former police officer, and now he devote his time sa apostolado. Lalo na he also handles a radio program in Surigao City. Next to him is his partner, si Sir Edwin. Sir Edwin Ongsinko, partner natin yan. Every time I go to Surigao to give a talk, he will be the one to arrange the venue, support everything, para every time may event kami, walang bayad ang mga participants. Sir Edwin sa Surigao. And sino ba itong nakaitim? Hindi ko makita. Of course, the voice of Butuan. Panahon pa yan ni Bishop Dos Piblos. Kilala natin for more than also panahon pa ni Cory Aquino. O ibang-iba, si Father, the voice of Butuan, advocacy, Father Lito Kasi. So from Butuan, dito naman tayo sa 5-star. Galing sa mga 3-star na mga delegates, dito tayo sa 5-star delegate natin. Walang iba, we know him already even before Marcos Sr. was out. And is known to be a fighter for democracy and freedom. Of course, our beloved former Defense Secretary during the time of President Cory Aquino and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. No other than Sir Norberto Gonzales. Katabi ni Sir Norbert is formerly Pope John Paul II appointed him as the auxiliary bishop of Manila. Pagkatapos, he became the rector ng Colegio Filipino based in Rome. After that, naging head na military ordinariate of the Philippines na hinawakan ngayon ni Bishop Florencio. Then after that, he became the Archbishop of Lipa in Batangas. Ngayon, he's moving around, helping us out in this crusade. Help me welcome His Excellency Most Reverend Ramon Argüelles Billy. Next to Archbishop Argüelles is, of course, another man who needs no introduction. We know him by heart. Can you imagine, from barangay captain, naging konsihal, naging vice mayor of Manila, naging mayor of Manila for 3 terms na walang kahit sinong mayor ng Manila nakakuha ng rango na yan for 3 terms. And then, he was appointed Secretary of DNR. Of course, no other than pinakamataas na rango na kuha ni Sir dito, being assigned by being Secretary, was he became the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Walang iba, the pinaka pro-life mayor ng Pilipinas and pinaka-fighter natin sa Congress, walang iba, Sir Lito Atienza. Of course, tulad ng iba, side by side, nandyan yung partner sa buhay for life. In fact, they were just celebrated their 60 years in marriage. Okay. With Ma'am Bing Atienza. Ma'am Rose. Of course, may introduce to you Ma'am Rose Gonzales, yung kabiyag ni Sir Norberto Gonzales. Ma'am Rose, good afternoon. Then next to Ma'am Rose is the daughter of Ma'am Margie Magdusa, the one next beside her. She's Dr. Hani Ilanan, Magdusa Ilanan, the daughter of Ma'am Margie. She's also involved as assistant in the pro-life efforts doon sa Diocese of Tagbilaran. So I think as the days go by, siguro yung baton ni Ma'am mapasa kay Ma'am Dr. Hani Ilanan. Si Dr. Hani, of course, beside Dr. Hani is her own mother. Her own mother, si Ma'am Margarita Palisok Magdusa. Is the point person for how many decades na sa Commission Fiber Life, and right now, siya po ang chairman ng Commission on the Laity for the Diocese of Tagbilaran, Ma'am Margie Magdusa. From Tagbilaran, we'll go to the West Philippine Sea. Yan ang busis natin sa Palawan. Okay? I went there. Magandang service niya, Fortuner. Buhay Fortuner. Please help me welcome the most active guy in Puerto Princesa, Palawan, other than Brother Terso Montero. After Brother Tisoy, Fortuner lang ginawa niya. Ayaw niya ng Montero. Anyway, beside him is no other than he's our former presidente ng Sangguniang Laiko ng Pilipinas, formerly named as the National Council of the Laity of the Philippines. Pag maging presidente ka ng Council of the Laity of the Philippines, para kang tawagin number 1 Katoliko ng Pilipinas. No? Para sa ilas rango ngayon. Number 1 Katoliko ng Pilipinas. Imagine, head ka ng Laiko ng Pilipinas. I know, he's my very good friend. I salute his leadership for 2 years being the president of the Laiko ng Pilipinas. And right now, you know his father, one of the prime organizers ng Corpus for Christ. No? Si Brother Padilla. Please help me introduce Brother Javi Padilla. Next to Brother Javi is another colleague of ours. Naging dean yan sa dalawang College of Medicine, Southwestern University, and then Matthias H. Asnar College of Medicine here in Cebu. And of course, is an anatomist, and of course, working as a doctor of medicine. And we also is or officer of the Catholic Physicians Guild of the Philippines. Mahirapan ako pag wala yan si Doktor in our efforts here in Cebu. Please help me welcome Dr. Alan Librando. Also very much involved with the Oasis of Love. Of course, side by side, bago lang dumating sa US, ang kabiyak niya from New York. Please help me welcome Dr. Rose Librando. Official cameraman natin is from the Diocese of Malaybalay. Based in Malaybalay, Bukidnon. We know him already also for more than 2 decades, going to 3 decades na. Help me welcome Brother Boy Dimit. And yung programa niya sa umaga, Impronto, ang pangalan is #1 the entire Central Mindanao. Okay? Frequently, you can just call me, Doc, for interview, for clarification, anytime. Okay? So, yan. And of course, at the back, nandiyan si Sir Caloy Saryo. Of course, kasama natin sa Cruzada, side by side with Sir Lito Atencia. Next is from the Diocese of Dumaguete. Siya po ay naging Vicar General ng Diocese of Dumaguete. And in the absence of the Bishop, nagsilibakante, naging Administrador ng Diocese of Dumaguete. Please help me welcome Monsignor Gami Tulabing from the Diocese of Dumaguete. Then, next to him, punta naman tayo sa mga waray-waray. I think everybody knows him by heart because sa mga krusada namin, not only in Visayas, even in Mindanao, kasama palagi, kauban pirmi. Please help me welcome our pinaka-fighter na pare in this area. Please help me welcome Reverend Father Erwin D.B. Lahara. Next to Father Erwin is an icon of Kalibo. Sabi ko icon kasi ranggo niya, commissioner pa ng life, ano pa mga binigay ng obispo sa kanya, para time of bishop, hindi pa bishop na laok, Father, no? Laok na?
Laso.
Oh, Bishop Lasso, Archbishop, the Emeritus Archbishop of Haro, until now, bago ng bispo nila, but still not active, committed. Help me welcome Reverend Father Josue Escalon Jr. Next is from Bohol, Republic of Bohol. You know where is it? Dala mo ng passport. Pero ang itatak nila is, Kalamay. Kalamay padala mo. Okay. Please let me welcome. Is very much involved in the commission on, commission on the lady. In fact, he assisted Ma'am Margie sa mga programa ng Commission on the Lady for the Diocese of Tagbilaran and involved in the promotion of the devotion to the Divine Mercy in all parts of the country, hindi lang sa Bohol. Please help me welcome Brother Rico Gavica. And of course, next to Brother Rico is Doris Doctor of Doris Doctor, and currently involved with different programs, lalo na in defense of the Holy Catholic Faith, being a member of the Catholic Faith Defenders Group, not only in Bohol but national level. And currently, he has programs sa YouTube explaining to us how to defend our faith. And currently, he is the secretary ng board sa municipal ng Luon, Bohol. Help me welcome Dr. Oretico. Okay. At the back are our beloved helping us out. They are now also in charge sa tawag ito sa WOM, no? Formerly with the Commission on Family and Life, but they are now running the WOM in the Cebu Archdiocese. Okay? Ma'am Nanay Bande. Mga kapatid, so it's about time that we will officially start our event this afternoon, which is we talk about facing the challenges of our times, church side and our country side. Okay, so we will have three speakers this afternoon. The first will present to us the scenario. Ano ba ang Pilipinas ngayon? I think our speaker will bring us back siguro mga before Marcos, during Cory, during Aquino, during Duterte, and the current administration na may 2 years to go na lang. Please help me welcome with open arms, Sir Lito Atinsa.
Aking inspirasyon. Anyway, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Mayong hapon. Inyong tanan. Ang mga minamahal kong mga haligi ng Simbahang Katoliko. Pero we're fortunate that we are involved in the work of promoting our faith. The only valid faith that I would consider is the Catholic faith. The others are just offshoot. Mga bunga lang yan. Mga invento lang yan. Pero ang Katoliko, simbahang itinatag ng Panginoong Jesucristo. My eldest son, grandson rather, grew up in the States. When he was of age already, he wanted to work for his church. I checked on all the churches in America, including the Muslim faith. And I found out, to my own discovery, to my own decision, the Catholic Church is the only valid faith. The others are founded by people. But the church, Catholic Church, was founded by Jesus Christ. So we are all fortunate we are part of that. I am really proud to be a Catholic, because I am defending the only real faith that man should be following. Now, where is the country today? We are a Catholic nation. 85% of our people are Catholics. Out of the 120 million Filipinos, I would estimate about 100 million are Catholics. So why are those belonging to the Catholic Church are made to suffer, and those who don't believe in God even are allowed to prosper? But that is a very shallow assessment. Because when God created the world, He gave a very special attention, I know, and I saw, to the Philippines. We are a beloved people of the Creator of life. Hindi niya binuo ang Pilipinas na tatagano lang. Bigyan tayo ng lahat ng kailangan para maging modelo tayo ng pamumuhay, yaman ng buhay, kasiyahan ng buhay na kakailanganin natin. Ang ating kapaligiran ay puspos ng yaman. At one point in time, the value of our peso was $1 to $1. Can you imagine that? 1 to 1? Because our gold reserve was equal to that of Fort Knox. 7 million tons of gold. Ano nangyari? Bakit wala ng value piso?
Billion.
Naging
Billion.
3 to 1, 5 to 1,
More than
7 to 1, 10 to 1.
billion.
Tapos,
More than
sinakaw yung ginto.
kung mukuhan ka sa
Nawala sa
ni
Central
Pablo
Bank.
Domingo.
Sino gumawa niyan? Mga leader natin. Mga panahon yun. So, binuksan ang boat, wala na lamang ginto. Sa dinala. Ninakaw. I cannot use any other word. Ninakaw ang yaman ng Pilipinas. Dinala sa Hong Kong. Araw-araw bumabiyahe sa aeroplano. Punong-puno ng gold and dollars. Lahat yan nangyari noong panahon ni Presidente, Diktador Ferdinand Marcos. Hindi ko malilimutan yan. Ako palagi ako inaaway ng misis ko. Ikaw masyadong malalim ang alaala mo, hindi marunong magpapatawad, hindi ka marunong makalimot. Hindi, tinatawad ko si Marcos. Pero hindi ko malilimutan, siya ang nagdakaw ng ginto natin. Tayo yung tuloy. You should forgive, but you must not forget. Because we are poor now, and the value of the peso has no weight because it is not backed up by gold. The money of other nations are supported by their gold deposits. We were created with a lot of gold. Hindi lang yun. Lahat ng mineral meron tayo. Lahat ng yaman ng kapaligiran. We have more than 15,000 varieties of trees, plants, food, and 10,000 varieties of animal life. Walang ganyan ang mga ibang bansa. Tayo lang. Ang karagatan natin, punong-puno ng lamang dagat. That's why China is salivating to take over our waters. Because it's full of life. So what's happening? Yung galunggong na nung araw pinakamura isda. Ngayon, ini-import natin sa China. Yung Taipei na walang hipon dyan, walang sugpo nung araw. Ngayon, ang sugpo nila mas malulusog isa sa atin. Yung mga ibang bansa walang tubig inumin, yumaman. Tayo, sobra-sobra ang tubig inumin. Do you know that our supply of fresh water is much, much more than what we consume? Yung iniinom natin, konti lang yan. Sobra-sobra ang binibigay sa atin ng Panginoon. Sa Metro Manila nga, nalulunod na kami sa tubig dun. Bakit nangyayari yan? Buti na lang dito sa Cebu. Visayas, Mindanao, hindi kayo inuulan. Mag-iisa po na yung ulan sa amin dun. Pero sa akin, paalala ng Diyos dun eh. That is one way of reminding all of us, not only from Metro Manila, but all of you coming from the Philippines, that we will never run short of drinking water. But because that is guaranteed by the Creator Himself. Hindi tayo dapat magutom kapag binigyan tayo ng lahat ng dapat kainin. Tagalan natin ang ating kapaligiran. Pero sa napunta mga purong kahoy, 14 million hectares of land was full of trees at one time. Tall, big trees. Wala na ngayon. You go to a country like Singapore, a very small nation, but the trees are as tall as mountains. Because they never cut their trees and sell it for profit. The government will never allow that. Here, naubos yung ating mga punong kahoy of 14 million hectares. When I took over the Department of Environment, I was shocked to find out only more than 1.5 million hectares was still having trees. All our mangrove formation a simple tree like a mangrove formation in our shoreline is a protection for the people. They'll never suffer from any tidal wave destruction because of the mangrove. Pero naubos ang mangrove natin. Wala na iwan. Ang mangrove grows by itself. Bayaan lang ng tao yan. It's the strongest, sturdiest wooden formation that will prevent the destructive elements of any tidal wave. We enjoy that protection. Who gives that to us? The Creator Himself. Because He wanted the Filipinos to be models of the world. To me, I take it as such. God so loves us all, so that He gave everything for us to excel. But the problem is, out of the 10,000 animals that He gave us, from the smallest monkey, from Bohol, and the biggest apes in our mountain. The smallest fish in the world is found in the Philippines. The biggest fish in the world is also in the Philippines. The biggest flower in the world is also found in the Philippines. God bless us. The problem is the biggest crocodiles are also found here. And most of them are in government. Elected officials and that. Congressmen, senators. What are senators? Are you proud of them? Take a look at them. Look at what they're doing. Are they talking about us? Are they talking about our welfare? No, they're talking about how much money will they take home this year. Look at the budget today. They are preparing it for 2027. The biggest budget is given to the Department of Education. Yun ang pinaglalawayan ni Secretary Angara. Not the children losing their values, not the children killing each other. No. That money that will pass through his hands after he was returning him. In my Facebook program, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, if you want to listen to me at 10 o'clock in the morning, I am at Facebook Live. And I don't need words. I tell the people straight. Secretary Angara is not doing his job. Children are losing their values. He's not worried. I am worried. Although I have no more children in school. We educated our children properly, and all of them are successful. Starting from Kuya Kim, maybe you may be familiar with it. He is very active in media. And all our other children, the youngest of which, well, in the middle, is a member of the City Council of Manila. The youngest is the Vice Mayor of Manila. So we continue to serve the government, although disappointed dahil ang ating gobyerno, ang ating mga politiko, nawala na ng mission. Ang kanilang mission is how to protect themselves and their future by robbing the people of our valued money. So much has been stolen and continue to be stolen. You think the stealing in government has already stopped? No! It has accelerated. Because walang remorse, walang guilt, walang not crime and punishment. They cannot punish themselves. They don't want to punish their own. So that's why Saldico is free. Martin Romualdez is free. All the other coups in government are still stealing money. Because in the Philippines, you can buy freedom. And that these are our continuing problem as a Catholic nation. I'm sure Christ is not happy with what he has done. He has given us everything, but we are not protecting what he has given us. We should wake up. We claim to be Catholics, and pillars of our church should get together. I congratulate the Human Life International, Dr. Rene, an old dependable friend in the defense of our church, for organizing sessions and fora like this. We have to know each other, we have to work together, we have to unite and accept the responsibility. Because government will not reform itself. They will not change the rotten election system that we have. Wala tayong election eh. Meron tayong selection. Our party, the Buhay Party, is the only Catholic promoting party. And yet we didn't win one seat. We lost miserably. Why? Because I refuse to pay the COMELEC what they're expecting. If I had given them 20 million per seat, if I had given my beloved chairman of the COMELEC 50 million, we would have gotten 3 seats. But I will not, I'll never participate in an election in our country in that manner. I was able to enter Philippine politics by not spending 1 centavo. Not 1 centavo. I ended the campaign winning a seat in the assembly. Alam ko yung mga kandidato ni Marcos. Without spending a cent. Why did I spend now that I have already proven myself? I have never given up or sacrificed my faith for whatever amount. I have avoided the fertilizer giveaways. I have avoided temptations from Congress. Money is flowing in Congress. You have no idea how much money every day passes through hands. Because our elected officials are not really chosen by the people. They're chosen by the COMELEC after getting money from them. Yun ang problema natin. How do we change that when you don't even realize that you have to pay to win? So what can we do? We should demand serious reforms in our election system. Otherwise, democracy will not succeed in this country. One day, the military will just take over, and we will all suffer the consequences of non-involvement. But if we act and pray hard, that God be with us, and so one can happen again. Bishop Arguelles was just telling me of his impressions of Elsa, and I agree with him. There is no Elsa here. There is not one singular person, Filipino, can say, I started Elsa. No. Elsa happened because we prayed at that point as one nation, and God did the rest. Kaya nakakitang dito na tumakbo. Dito na natin. Yun na ako ng katakot-takot na pera, hindi na kailangan. Tulad yan, araw na tatakbo siya, nilipat siya. At nalipat niya ang pera sa ibang bansa. Pero he died without even 1 centavo in his pocket. So walang silbi yung yaman. You don't assure yourself of longevity or heaven as your destination by raking all the money in your pocket. You will suffer the consequences. We will forgive, but God will not forgive. He knows what he's doing, and I know that one day we will again recover our good senses. We will restore a better life for the Filipinos. Ngayon, masyado magulo. May inaasama tayo sa Senado. Wala. Eh, puro mga payaso yun nandun eh. Mga Pugisyano. The other day, I was seated in the hotel. One gentleman approached me. I was surprised. Congratulations, Congressman. Congratulations for exposing the regardless for what they are. I am a regardless. I am a direct relation of Lorenzo. You are the only one who has the courage to say the truth. That she tried bribing you. I was just telling the truth. I did not add one word or reduce one word from whatever transpired between us. But she told me, and these are the exact words, if you help my son get the franchise, I would be very generous to you. I'm the chairwoman of the Senate Appropriations Committee. And I can give you 10 million today if you just help my son. I said, kung ito pag-usapan natin, Senadora, I have better things to do in my office. Thank you for the cup of coffee. And the radio organized the meeting between us. Sabi niya, isa the exact word. Ikaw naman, Loren, sinabi ko na sa'yo, kung gusto ko bigyan ng pera si dito hatanggap ng pera yan. Ako na nakikiusap. Tapos sinabi tumiting bago tayo mag-iwawalay. O sige, dahil pag inulit ni Senadora yung offer niya, I'll leave without saying goodbye. Sabi niya ako, babuhin ko na yung sinabi ko. Basta tulungan mo lang yung anak ko. Kunin yung franchise. Sabi ko, di mo na kailangan yung franchise eh. Bakit ako kunin yan? You know why? I know. You will sell the company that he will give the franchise to for a big, big price. And I know there are companies from Korea are already waiting. They'll pay billions of dollars for that small company that he has organized. See, he's a genius. He's a genius for himself. But he is fooling the people by promising he will provide solar energy to all the barangays when his capitalization is 1 million pesos. Kulang pa, yung anak mo. Sino na pinabola niya dyan? Yung mga tumanggap ng pera sa nanay sa iyo. So yan, gano'n ba ang configuration of kanyang apply? Oo, sabi ko. Kaya right there, nakita ko. It is a scam. 1 million peso capitalization and you're committing to solarize the whole nation for free? Excuse me. I can see a scam right here. Sorry, huh? Sorry. We are friends, but I cannot vote for that. When I went up to Congress, nakita ko, overwhelming na yung support niya. The congressman in Bohol, si Arthur Yap was the main sponsor. He kept following me. Dito naman, makisama ka lahat kami. Buboto na eh, nag-yes eh. Ikaw lang ang no. I go, I will not vote. So, isa lang yung boto ko eh, 300 tayo. But I will insist on one provision. Hindi yan. Sabi ko, pag binenta yung kumpanya, wala nang validity yung franchise. The franchise gets invalidated when the company is sold. Pero hindi din na yan. Pinasok nila, kuhayan. Kaya Section 18 of the law, granted the franchise, states that this franchise is invalid if the company that holds it is sold to any other party, foreign or local. Bumili pa rin si Pangilinan. Naloko na siya, pero bumili siya. They paid billions of pesos. Have you seen a billion pesos? Napapahin siya na. Sinabi ko lang, have you seen a billion pesos? This young man of 90 years, my God, held 62 billion pesos at one time. Why? Because powerful yung nanay niya. Eh, yung regard na lumapit sa akin kanina, kanya, first classing ko si Loren, I congratulate you. Because you're the one who was the guest to tell all. But I'm just telling the truth. When I'm telling the truth, I'm not afraid of any consequence. Because that is the kind of world that we are in now. The politicians buy each other willingly, and they enjoy the ill-gotten wealth among themselves. But I'm very, very proud of my record. Bishop. They have offered me hundreds of millions. They have offered me all kinds of concessions, mining companies and all this. I have never accepted, simply because I believe in God. And I believe in my faith. And I know God will always protect me. I am reminded, I don't want to go to Highland. Masyadong mainit doon. So, magtulungan tayo, let's get more involved. Because your titles, your organization, your involvement, your time will not be as effective as when we act as a united people of Christ. That's the only way to reform, actually, because there are no other ways of reforming God's great plan to us, except our prayers and our action. And gusto ko yung faithful Catholic leadership. Update, collaborate, and act. Huwag kayong mag-iis sa sarili nyo. Ilabas nyo ang galit nyo at paniniwala nyo. And God will not let us down. He will always be with us. And tell the whole world, I love the Filipinos, and I shall protect them always. I believe that. You should believe it. Because you are officially the soldiers of Christ. Kami mga kami, mga kabo. Kabo lang kami. Ayaw mga commission. Minsan ako nalulungkutan. Kung nilalabanan namin yung same-sex marriage, I was a congressman. Sabi ko, Father, hindi siya ganda. Ibang pare yun.
Wala.
Tumulong naman kayo. Parang mga politiko, ayaw ng same-sex marriage. Yung mas itong pare. Ay, trabaho niyo yun. Kami sa simbahan. Kayo, simbahan ito eh. We are the church and we are threatened. You should lead and I should follow. I cannot lead. I do not know theology as much as well as you do. Yeah, these are matters for the politicians. That disappointed me. Wala tayo makukuha mga ganong attitude. Kaya tayo mga lay, tulungan natin sila mga pare, pero hindi naman tayo gagawa ng ng trabaho na dapat sila namumuno. The church should lead and we should all follow. And we should do our the very best to defeat the enemy. Otherwise, divorce is already coming up. Abortion is also coming up. No one wants to fight abortion openly because marami na raw gusto ng abortion. Yun ang mangyayari. Pag dumami na dumami ang may gusto ng abortion, mangyayari na legalized abortion. Abortion is the greatest sin that man may commit because you're killing your own child, a creation of God. Sarang na yung bata, papatayin mo. And that motivated us also. Me and my wife, we founded the Home for the Aged. It is an institution that takes care of abandoned children. At merong dampot, sanggol, iniwal ng ina, bukid, kalye, mga bahay, mga health center, hospital, dinala namin, inaalagaan. Kaya I can claim that this point in time, I wanted many children of my own. I prayed that we would have a dozen. He did not give us a dozen, only 6. Kamali na 6 plus in-law. One dozen then. But he gave me a bonus. A simple institution that we founded has already saved about 900 lives. 900 babies. And they're all named Atienza. So I can claim I have 900 children with only one wife. You can. I'm challenging Singson, all the other politicians to claim they have so many children. I have 950 children with only one woman.
It's a miracle.
Wala akong masasabi sa inyo kundi God rewards
Hallelujah.
those who serve Him. And in the Middle East, I have a good friend who is very, very successful in business. He's super rich. He gave me a poster which says, God loves those who love His creation. God loves those who love His creation. And the only reason I can tell myself I've been fortunate. I don't do selection, although I don't spend money. I've been given homes and houses, but I didn't spend that much. I serious consequences, coincidences, Kabahaya in Manila. They were together in the cabinet of GMA. One occasion, the president was ordering me to go to Paringa. I want you there tomorrow. We have a sport, very important big meeting with the natives in the mountain province. I need you beside me. But somebody was telling me, don't go, don't go. I was going, President, I cannot go. Why? You know, I have other commitments. Sabi mo secretary niya magagalit si Ma'am. Sabi ko, hindi ba rin magagalit si Ma'am? Pero ayoko magalit sa akin yung guardian angel ko. Hindi ako pumunta, Bert. Namatay sila lahat. Sakay ng helicopter. The helicopter, brand new, that the president wanted me to use to go to Paringa, crashed in the mountain province, killed the 6 passengers, and it could have included me, because my guardian angel was very active. After that, Twin Tower accident, terrorism, I would have been there, but I was also told by someone, don't go to New York. Injuring me and you and egalitarian event. After going through all the preparation, we are not going. What can I do? I'm being admonished by whom? By my God and angels. One day I'll introduce you to. Anyway, don't be scared. Do not fear anything as long as you're serving God. That's my own personal credo, and I will never change. I'll quit politics, but I have not quit serving God and serving the nation. I will forever serve the two, nation, God and the nation. Anything of national relevance, you will hear my voice. I'll never say I'll quit being a Filipino, and I will never say I'll quit my faith. No, Catholic faith must be defended because the challenges are real and powerful. And there were already elected leaders in government who make sure that they remain in office. We should make sure that they are kicked out of office. Yan siguro maasahan ka. Makabayan, mga Diyos, mga tao. Maraming salamat sa listening to me.